This year has been so frustrating for us Nintendo fans and for us just waiting for Switch 2. Oh my goodness, I actually just had to go back as we only have like a day left of 2024. I had to go back to the beginning of this year and look at where we came from and how many times we were hyped for a reveal, things looked like it was about to happen, and how many times we were let down. So I actually wanted to take a trip back to the past and actually talk about everything that's happened in the year of 2024 with Switch 2 and just kind of, compare it to where we are now. Because I just couldn't believe, after looking back at some of my earlier videos of the year, how long we've been talking about this thing. Yeah, I surprised myself. We've been talking about Switch 2 for a year. But let's go all the way back to the beginning of the year and talk about where this even started in the first place. Well, we just came off of an extremely high year with 2023. It felt like the end of the Nintendo Switch in that they ended it with a banger. We had Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Everything felt so perfect to finally transition. We thought those were the last Switch games and that we'd be moving on to the big boys, moving on to Switch 2. And of course, rumors would start to pop off. We actually started hearing that maybe Nintendo didn't have a direct plan for February, or maybe it was going to be a partner direct, or something felt off, and that, a lot of rumors were coming in that something was going to happen in March. We'd finally get a reveal in March, and that all the insiders had been hearing that something was happening in March. Well, February would roll around, and we would have a partner direct, which led a lot of people to start believing that these rumors were true, that Nintendo didn't have anything really to announce first party because they were gearing up for a big Switch 2 focused presentation in March. So we would sit and wait and get hype. I remember the whole world started getting hype because there was nothing else about this console at this point. There weren't really any rumors, any leaks, any pictures, anything at all. I mean, we were just sitting blindly, and this was a great time to get a reveal because we didn't know anything. And of course, as we start to get to the end of February, we hear rumors saying, never mind, don't expect anything next month because there's apparently been an internal delay. And of course, as we jump into March, absolutely nothing happens from Nintendo. All hype is immediately crushed and we are all completely let down. I remember feeling like, wow, that was just like a punch in the gut. And it wasn't the end of the world though, because this was one of the first times we were getting hyped for something like this and it didn't happen. But then we started to realize maybe we should look at who we're trusting here because this is strange. However, a couple months go by and since then we start hearing about an investor meeting coming up and everybody's saying Nintendo's gonna have to talk about this thing, right? The investors are gonna ask about it and a lot of people believing that nothing would even come from this. But May 7th, Nintendo would actually take to Twitter for the investors meeting to announce that they would reveal the Switch successor sometime within the fiscal year, which is between May and, of course, March 31st of 2025. This immediately got everybody excited because, yeah, we finally get word of mouth from Nintendo a time frame as to when we can actually get a reveal for this thing. It's a pretty large time frame, yeah, but still, it's a time frame nevertheless, and it's something that we don't have to rely on. It's a rumor. Also, Nintendo would state that we would have a Nintendo Direct in June. This is one of the first times ever they announced a Direct this early in advance, so the hype was definitely back. We get an upcoming Nintendo Direct, we get Switch 2 announced sometime in the fiscal year. There's no need to worry right now. We are all a-okay. And of course, that June Nintendo Direct comes around, and it actually somehow revealed 3 new games for the holiday. They're smaller games, and more of the spin-off titles with Echoes of Wisdom, Mario Party Jamboree, and Mario & Luigi Brothership, but nevertheless, they are 3 new games, where we apparently thought the new games were going to be done as soon as we entered 2024. So this was definitely a surprise, but still it was really cool to get some new stuff announced in that June Nintendo Direct as we still were waiting for that Switch 2 reveal. Well, the Direct is over and summer is coming to an end. Our excitement is starting to peter out a little bit and we're starting to plateau there. Rumors are starting to swirl up again that there is some type of presentation or something being planned for September, which starts to hype us up again. They also say that there's going to be some weird things and moving around of shows. For instance, that some things would be pushed forward because of this, and that's exactly what happened. During the final week of August, we got a Nintendo Museum Direct and a Partner/Indie World combined into its own Direct for the first time ever. This was all on the last week of August, which is very, very strange for Nintendo to do. It's completely out of the norm. So this immediately told us, okay, something definitely big is happening in September, which is normally a time frame where we would have a big Nintendo Direct as well. The hype is once again through the roof. Well, September rolls around and we start to hear a mix from insiders. Lots of insiders are saying September for sure, and lots of insiders are saying that they heard October, so it's kind of a battle to see who was right. Also at this time, we started getting leaked model documents of the console. I remember there was one week in particular. I was actually on vacation, which I believe was the 3rd week of September, and waking up on vacation and seeing nothing but model leaks of Switch 2. Apparently someone had the render files and was able to see and show exactly what it was going to look like, and the internet was on fire. Every single day that week, everyone was patiently waiting every morning on Twitter for a Nintendo Direct or some type of Switch 2 announcement to actually happen. Remember, it was September, so we were already at least expecting a Nintendo Direct, right? But everybody was waiting every single day. Nintendo would even go a whole day one of those days not posting anything, which normally leads to some type of announcement, but nothing would actually come of it. Literally nothing happened in September. But it's not the end of the world because we still had October. So it looked like the September insiders were wrong, but there's still one more month left. And everybody was pretty much made up in their mind that if it didn't happen in October, it wasn't going to happen at all because Nintendo would be getting into the holiday season in November and they'd be messing with the sales of the upcoming games, also Switch 1, so it just wouldn't make sense. So October was it. This was our last chance. October rolls around and they reveal everything but Switch 2. I'm talking Nintendo reveals some mystery new playtest, they reveal Alarmo, even Nintendo Music, a theme park Nintendo Direct happened, but no Switch 2. Which made it even worse is we never did get a Nintendo Direct in September, so we missed one in February and in September. We only got a June Direct, which led a lot of people's hype to be flushed down the drain. This was clearly a tough time. So many people had made bets and placed odds on it happening in September, October. Yours truly even made a bet, and I clearly had to pay for it dearly. I think for a lot of us at that time, the hype died. I mean, we just didn't care anymore. It was already almost November. We were just kind of chilling and hanging out, and you know what? Whatever happens, happens at this point. However, at the very start of November, we start getting the blowout. And even to this day, this blowout is still happening. Companies everywhere, whether it be indie game studios, accessory companies, everyone starts showing off the Switch 2. It's actually insane. It's one of the first times I've ever seen anything like this in my entire life. Literal companies that are partnering with Nintendo in the future are showing off their Switch 2 accessories with their own models of what Switch 2 is going to look like within those accessories. And even some of these company presidents and CEOs coming out on Twitter saying, yeah, this is a model of Switch 2. A lot of these game companies are even teasing Switch 2, saying our game is coming to the future Nintendo systems, or just something like that with like eyeballs or emojis to kind of tease that it's Switch 2 announcement soon. How is this even allowed? This started leading people to believe that maybe there was some type of embargo that lifted, maybe Nintendo really did plan on revealing Switch 2 at the end of 2024, and something changed, something shifted, that maybe there was another internal delay. These internal delays could have actually been real, because we have all of these pictures of an unconfirmed Switch 2 at this point, and then other leakers and rumors started getting in on it, and just everyone starts posting pictures of Switch 2, and almost every single one looks identical to the other. It looks like we actually know what Switch 2 is going to look like now. Nintendo may have waited too long. I mean, shoot, at the beginning of December, a user apparently comes out and states that they actually have a console somehow, and that they would reveal pictures on Christmas. Christmas Day comes around and they show up some really blurry images, some really zoomed in images, but even Pioro, famous leaker, comes back because he was pretty much dead this year after getting outed to say, hey, some of this information seems really legit, some of this seems true, and some of these pictures could be legit. What is happening? So if we look back from where we started with that first real leak of the console compared to today, this is where we are now. This render made is based off of everything that we know and have learned from the leaks and the rumors and the inside information. This is apparently the closest look that we will ever have until, I guess, Nintendo reveals a thing of Switch 2, or until somebody actually is confirmed to reveal their own picture of the whole console. But this looks pretty accurate. And honestly, it kind of sucks that this is how we're gonna get our first kind of look at it. Maybe it's nothing like this, maybe there's still a small chance sense that everyone is wrong and that they've been fed false information. But I think it's all but confirmed at this point that this is what the console is going to look like or be very similar to it, which it stinks that Nintendo had all these opportunities to announce a thing and they still haven't. So right now on December 31st, for a lot of people, hype is kind of dead right now. There's not really much going on outside of these rumors and leaks, but for a lot of people that are just soaking up these rumors, it's very much alive and the hype is really high right now. The rumors are suggesting, the new ones at least, that there's going to be some type of reveal in January, but my heart and my head can't even take it anymore. I'm just chilling. At this point, I'm just waiting. Yes, the fiscal year is over March 31st, so just in a couple of months. Also, the fact with all these leaks coming out, you would think Nintendo would definitely reveal something in January, but I'm not placing any bets. I'm not getting any hopes up at this point. It's just all Nintendo. Nintendo has to announce this thing to get me any sort of happy or any sort of hype. But it's been a long journey, literally going from the first rumor of a reveal back in March and all the way to now with a new rumor of a reveal in January. It's crazy that it's been a whole year of Switch 2 talk and speculation, but I'm so ready to be done. I'm so ready to just talk about the console that's in front of our faces. So hopefully 2025, early 2025, we can talk about this thing. I'm praying, let's just hope. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. How was your Switch 2 journey this year? Did you guys at all find hope or hype with this console? Did you kind of ignore all the rumors and leaks and just waited? How have you been? How are you doing now? And where's your hype level now out of 10? Are you high like a 9 or a 10? Or are you low like a 3 or a 2? Or are you in the middle like a 5 or a 6? Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out also. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. Here's the Switch 2 in 2025. See you guys.